What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, what I have for you is once again another slider update. And now I must say, the last video I put out for sliders didn't work out, okay? The way I play with Madden this year, okay? And we realized that a little bit too late. A little bit too late in the process. I was all gung-ho, I was excited. It just didn't work. I'm sorry. If you like those sliders and they're working for you, that's great. But for me, they just were not working. There were some things that I wasn't liking, and the quarterback play was a little bit weird at times, but I have went back to sort of my old set a little bit, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So today I'm going to show you what I've been using for my slider set on my Panthers franchise. We've been following along with that. You will know how these things play. If you haven't, you should probably check out the franchise series. It's getting pretty interesting right about now. Let's get into it. I'm not going to waste too much time. There's not a whole lot to talk about. So let's go over to the options here. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm running with my sliders as of this moment. So I'm not, again, touching anything player skill wise. Does not matter. And this is what I have for the CPU skill. I have 24 for quarterback accuracy. I have 40 for pass blocking, 35 for wide receiver catching, 50 for run blocking, 52 ball security. Pass defense is still at 48. Interceptions still at 25. Pass coverage at 45. I have tackling at 51. This one I'm considering bringing back down to 50 because I want to see more running backs be able to break tackles, but I'm just not seeing it as frequently. But I have not made that decision yet. I haven't touched anything on this. The default stuff is all the same. I just don't see a need right now to mess with it. I was messing with it for a while, but I didn't see a much change, so I just left it alone. Injuries. I have 22 injuries. I have 62 fatigue, and I have 65 for the player speed threshold. My penalties are a little bit different. I have 60 offsides, 65 false start, 50 for holding, 80 for face mask, 60 for defensive pass interference, and then of course I have 50 for this and 40 for roughing the passer. The only two things I have off are intentional grounding and illegal contact. Those are the two that I have off. Everything else is the same. As for the league settings, I'm running all pro once again. That's the one that I feel like is the best this year for Madden. Last year was pro, it seemed. This year it's all pro. It changes. I have 12-minute quarters, and then I do have the accelerated clock still on. I have that at 15 seconds. I've been liking what I've been seeing from that. I have changed my stance on this because a buddy of mine, Smitty, who's in the RFL, he's the one who created the RFL. He has this set in there, and he says he felt like, even for some weird reason, that when you just turn everything else off and you crank this one up, it gives you a really quality balance of play calling. And I haven't noticed anything weird from it, and I haven't noticed anything bad from it, so I just been running with it. So cooldown for offense is off, limit for offense is 15, and then both off for both of them on defense to not limit the defense to too many things. Dynamic momentum, of course, turned off. I hate that thing. I still think that it goes on in the background behind the scenes, but I can't prove nothing, so we're just going to leave that at that. But it's off. Of course, everything here is set to manual. Everything here turned off. My settings for this, very hard for trade difficulty and high for free agent motivation impact. That's the way I do it. And I also have my staff talent cost modifier to slow. So it takes me the longest to earn points. It costs me the most to try to trade, and it makes it a little bit more difficult for players to sign with me that aren't interested in me. This is just a way for me to keep the balance in my league. And if you are trying to find ways where you actually have to make decisions and you can't have any player you want, follow these steps here, because this here is actually has been really helpful for this one. Some players I just have had to let go because I'm not going to pay them what they're asking me to pay them because their impact from the free agent motivation doesn't line up with us. Of course, injuries and stuff are on. Progressive fatigue is off. I turned it on in the first week of this franchise. I set everybody to full pad split so that everybody gets upgrade points week to week in practice. And then I immediately turned it off. So that way I get that split nicely the way I want, but I'm also not dealing with that stupid progressive fatigue that they still can't figure out. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets taken out of the game this year. Honest to God. Because they've done this before. They'll put like 2 or 3 things in the game. They try to make it work, and then they fail miserably, and then they take it away like it just never happened. So I wouldn't be surprised if they either revamp it completely, revamp the whole system, or they just remove from progressive fatigue, because they have not been able to figure it out to save their lives over there. I just have I have the X factors kept at 50, but everything else I cranked up. I want the younger guys to get better, and then yeah, I just 48 for the minimum roster size. Nothing too crazy here. Make sure fill rosters off. I'm not sure if I showed you guys my XP sliders. I know I did it in a video, but I'm gonna do it again anyway. This is gonna be not just a slider video. This is gonna be more like my current franchise settings. So I'm not gonna go over every single thing here. I'm just gonna slowly go down this list like this while I tell you why I set them up the way I set them up. I wanted young players to come in and get good, okay? Because that's when they're gonna learn the most. They're going to learn the most in the first couple of years that they're in a league. I then wanted older players to get worse. I don't want them to stay in 85 until they're 34. I don't think that makes any sense. That's not how the league works. And I wanted certain positions to get worse faster, like corners, running backs, wide receivers, positions that require more speed and acceleration than they do skill and brain. And I'm not taking a shot at those players. I swear to God, I'm not. I love all those positions, but the fact remains that I can play quarterback until I'm 45. Like, there's no way I can do that playing corner or running back because it's way more physically demanding. So I built them to make the old players get worse faster and the young players get better faster. I also sort of tweaked it a little bit based off of the positions. And I like the way it's been. I don't get too high of overall old players. They get worse. Because they're getting worse, they also get less of the they lose a lot of their development traits because they're getting worse faster, so they're not holding on to the X. I don't have a bunch of X factors in this league that are 37 like I did 2 years ago before I put this in, is what I'm trying to say. So because I'm doing this, it doesn't matter that I don't go through and I change them because they're just naturally falling off better because the players are playing worse than they were. And of course I have abilities turned off, so they can't cheese their way to being good, which means I can just let it run its course. So this XP here has really helped my whole franchise, save me some time. And I highly suggest that you guys try this out yourselves because like I said, if they are 20 to 22, they are earning very quickly. If you are a certain position, you're also going to get better quicker based off of how much things you have to upgrade for that specific position. Like, you know, receiver. They have 4 different ones to worry about and they all do different things. Or linemen, who definitely need a lot more, so I have them, you know, boosted up a little bit when it comes to what they earn. So all in all, I think it's a very good system. I like what I have right now. I actually, you know what? I just thought about this. I'm gonna raise this up a little bit. I have halfbacks at 120 because they should get good fast. Halfbacks are just really good right out of the gate. I should have this higher as well. I'm gonna put this to 110. I'm gonna put this to 112, and I'm gonna put this to, I'm gonna do 120, 120 for the interior, and then tackles. Actually, no, we're just gonna put all in the 120. This is breaking news. I'm changing my XP sliders, and you guys just heard it here first. All 3 of those should be at 120 because offensive linemen, I complain about it all the time. They need help upgrading, so I'm just gonna give it to them. Perfect. All right, and those are the XP sliders. So now let's go back, and I think that covers most of them. Oh, you guys are killing me with this stuff, like when I don't share it, so I'm gonna make sure I share it. These are what my auto subs look like right now. I am running 85-70 in most positions that I want subbed out. I might change this back because I have noticed that there are some, yeah, I'm gonna change this back to 80-60 like the standard, but anything that I want to be subbed out within reason, I have 85 in and 70 out. Same for the defense, 85 in, 70 out, in the off chance that I want people to sub out properly. You guys also seem to care about this in the main menu, so I am gonna include this as well. My passing mechanics, I have classic, off, medium, and then 7 for reticle speed. I don't think this has any correlation at all with how the quarterbacks play, but there you go. And if you want any indication that it doesn't matter, I used to have placement and accuracy, and quarterbacks are still doing the same exact thing. So use that with what you will. This is what I have on. I also have auto flip and defensive ball hawk turned off, along with heat seeker assist. I think I have everything off. Yeah, I have everything off because I don't use it. And then yeah, everything is still of course set the same up here. And then I have physics-based tackling at 60. I'm gonna move that to 62 because I would like to see, again, running backs break more tackles, and I'd like to do it here instead of having to take away tackling in the menu. So actually, you know what? We're gonna do 64. 64 is the number we're going with. And that's it. That's all the stuff that I have. I've covered it all. If there's anything that I missed, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure I covered every single thing down to the auto subs for you guys in this video. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be the franchise settings update for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys are using this stuff, and if you have been, if it is helpful, if it's helping your franchise be a little bit more fun. And again, I'm gonna put this out there. Every time I do a video like this, somebody asks me in the comments, and honestly, I just don't even respond anymore because I very clearly say this in the beginning of a video. I didn't today because last video I did, nobody listened. I'm gonna put it at the end. This stuff is set for CPU versus CPU. I do not and will not put out sliders for user versus CPU or user versus user because I don't play that way. So please, if you are using these sliders, if you decide to share them with somebody, if you decide to comment on this video about how they are working, please make sure that it is for CPU versus CPU, because if it is not, I will not stand behind the results that you get from them. I hope that message found you very, very clearly, and I hope everybody all the best with their franchises. So thank you guys so much for watching. Before you leave, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already, turn on that bell notification, and I will see you guys next time.